When you're given the diagnosis, the first place that everyone's minds go to is this is a bad cancer and there are not a lot of positive outcomes. By searching for survivors, success stories are out there. I just started reading story after story after story. I wanted to be an outlier. My name is Leanne Pierce. I'm 50 years old. I live in Scituate, Rhode Island, and I am a 6-year stage 4 pancreatic cancer survivor. There was never really a telltale sign that it was pancreatic cancer. I had a subtle pain in the middle of my abdomen, some tiredness, some hot flashes, and night sweats. After diagnosis, it was very scary. In the first couple of days, we call those the unknown days, where we didn't know what our next steps would be. It just felt like I was in a bad dream that I couldn't get out of. I couldn't get out of reality. And it wasn't until I met with my doctor at Dana-Farber where I started becoming more hopeful. Kevin and I are both numbers people, and we tried not to focus on statistics because we knew that there were going to be outliers at either end of that average. I wanted to be an outlier. And my oncologist, Dr. McCleary, she understood the seriousness of the disease, but she looked at me as an individual as we moved forward. For FOLFIRINOX, I completed 50 treatments, which is a lot. It's a very aggressive medicine. I just made a choice for it not to be hard. I just knew that if I could keep plowing through this, there would be more options at some point. We tried to continue on with our lives and not give the cancer itself energy. It was very easy to sit there and think, what's going to happen to these kids when they're older and I'm not here? I went to someone who was dedicated to remaining positive, to keep my mind focused on the present. We visualized the tumor shrinking. And after the first scan, the cancer had diminished by about 60%. When we neared 18 months, there was nothing remaining. We had always talked about we were going to keep going on this treatment. But Kevin, he said, why don't you read about Camille Moses? She had been on the break for a few years. Her story was so similar to mine. I messaged her through Facebook, and she inspired me to make the break from the chemo. And we kept scanning. If we saw it come back, we would start the chemo again. My husband will say he knew that it would stay away. I've been off of the chemotherapy since June of 2020. And the further I get out, the less chance of a recurrence. I think from the start, it's been really a roller coaster of emotions. As soon as I was diagnosed, I was fearful. I was shocked. Then for a few weeks, I was angry. I wondered why this happened to me. As I went through the treatment, I started to change from being sad and angry to grateful and astonished at how many friends and family members came to our support. Rides to baseball games, hockey practices, getting the kids on the bus. My husband was the chemotherapy help, and my mom came to every single CAT scan, and she still does. I have a pretty close-knit group of friends that I golf with. I golfed in several golf competitions while going through treatment. They were a great support system. I have a friend that was just recently diagnosed with cancer. She couldn't understand how she was going to get through everything, and I just said, it just happens. People step up. I didn't expect them to, or they didn't have to. So my life now is really close to normal as possible. The boys are getting bigger and are needing me less and less. I definitely like to spend more time in the moment because things change and something can change in an instant. Focus on the things that you can control. You are going to be that outlier. You can be that outlier.